Season's greetings. We just released an album called Christmas is Everywhere.
I'm Jack.
I'm Dale.
The album features 14 all original songs. They're all Christmas songs. And the folks here at KITTV suggested that we join you to talk about the process and the behind the scenes of making the album Christmas is Everywhere.
We hope you like it.
First song on the album is December Winter.
I love that song.
I do too. It's always been I've always been a giant Beatle fan, a British Invasion fan, and I always wanted to kind of craft a Christmas song around that kind of music. And, I think it works out pretty well. How about you, Jack?
It's great. We were shooting for a bouncy Beatle-esque wintry kind of song, and when Dale came up with the melody and started playing it, we knew we'd landed on just the right song. The question was surrounding it with a lyric that made sense. Did it?
I think it did.
Okay.
I was very proud of that song, and I think it's a wonderful opening track for the album. It kind of sets the tone for the whole thing.
It does, and Dale wrote a backup part for me to sing, and surprisingly, I was able to sing it. We really like that. It's the first cut off the album, and you're going to like it. Here's a little bit of December Winter.
There's a certain kind of care. December, winter, there's a magic in the air. And if you feel the spirit, then you will feel the need. Sit with me by the fire, I'll help you to believe. Flickering lights and a glimmer of hope, carolers singing, covered with snow. These are the things we need more of, a world full of giving and peace and love. Flickering lights and a glimmer of hope, carolers singing, covered with snow. These are the things we need more of, a world full of giving and peace and love.
Second song on the album is entitled Wonderful Day for a Snowfall. What makes it different than the rest of the selections was the process that we used to write the song. Ordinarily, when Dale and I write together, we get an idea and that becomes the theme of the song. Then we develop a lyric, and then we end up with a musical background that fits that lyric. Well, on Snowfall, it was a completely different process.
Well, it was based on a riff that I had in my head for a long time, and for probably 20 years I'd try to write a song out of that particular riff, and it was a beautiful little thing, kind of a James Taylor sort of thing, and I never really could come up with anything that satisfied me. So when we first got together, I brought it down to Jack and I played him the riff, and I asked him to see what he could do with it, and I think it turned into a wonderful song.
What we did that afternoon was we recorded and recorded and recorded that riff over and over until I had about 60 minutes of it. And for the next several days, I listened to it as I was driving and doing my errands. And one afternoon, as I was driving along, and it was a light snow coming down, please excuse me, I watched it coming down, hitting against my windshield, and suddenly I realized the snow is falling from the sky. So when I got home, I went and stood on my back porch for probably 45 minutes with my notebook and started jotting down exactly what I was looking at, and that became the lyric, along with some other ideas that are consistent with just what you think of when it's snowing.
And the video was much fun to make too. We had a great time.
We did, and we had a big snowball fight. You can see it online, and you'll see what happened to Dale when he tried to retaliate as I threw a snowball at him. But for now, give a listen. Here's a Wonderful Day for a Snowfall.
It's a wonderful day for snowfall. Toss the hats and gloves in the dryer. Warm your boots and coats before the fire. Hot chocolate with a marshmallow, a blanket on your feet. It's a wonderful day for a snowfall. It's a wonderful day for a snowfall.
Little Train is the third song on the album. It's a wonderful little tune, kind of a country flavored thing. Jack had this wonderful imagery of what it would be like to actually be in that little train going around underneath the Christmas tree on Christmas morning. He had just wonderful thoughts, and I thought it just turned into a great song.
It was exciting because by the time we got to Little Train, we'd written 4 or 5 songs, and we were just so enjoying the process of writing together that we were talking like every other day, saying, "You got a new song? You got a new song?" And I happened to be sitting in my rec room one night, and I have an electric train that runs around the perimeter, and I was watching it go around, and I thought, man, how cool would it be if I could be inside the little train? And so I jotted down a few lyrics, and what made our collaboration so good was that when we get together, we had a real style. We'd play, and we did it every single time. Whoever had the genesis of the idea would play it for the other person 3 times while they took notes, and it could be kind of intimidating, wondering what their opinion was going to be. But admittedly, the original version of Little Train, just trying to get us started going down the track on this song, was an awful lot of clickety-clacks. So after Dale listened to it, he kind of distilled it down, and he actually pulled out a line that was in the first verse originally, rolled that around, made that the chorus. Do you call it the chorus, or you call it the chorus? I call it the refrain. But we understand that between each other at this point. At any rate, it became a fun song. We had a great time recording it. You'll hear what sounds like a fiddle midway through on the what I call the bridge, and what he insists on calling the middle 8. It's the break in the middle of the song, the instrumental takeoff, and after Dale had the original musical setting pretty well put together, we listened to it, we liked it, and he said, "I just wish I could think of what instrument fits on there." And it dawned on me, Orange Blossom Special and all these wonderful train songs from over the years, you ordinarily have a fiddle. So the next afternoon, sure enough, Dale had found a way to squeeze a fiddle out of his keyboard.
The video was a lot of fun to do. My son filmed us on the train tracks in Vandalia, and you should take a look. It's a wonderful tune. We're real proud of it.
You can see all of our videos at our website, jackanddale.com. There's all kinds of bios, photos, there's links to the videos, and just a variety of information. That's at our website, jackanddale.com. But we've told you how great this song is, how much we like it. What should we do now?
Probably let them watch the video.
Okay, here's the song called Little Train.
Traveling through a canyon of boxes red and green, passing by rivers and glittering roads, far as you can see. A scenic tour through Tuxedo town on a trip through make-believe.
song on the album is also the title cut, and it's called Christmas is Everywhere. The background in this is that much like December Winter, and Dale was shooting for a sort of a Beatles British invasion feel on that song, we felt like we'd try and write a song that was reminiscent of the old Las Vegas lounge acts and some of the songs we grew up with that were kind of mainstream traditional songs when we were younger.
Well, it's family. You know, this whole thing, we've had a lot of, you know, when we put this all together, we thought family was a huge influence, and everybody our age, you know, you grew up with you know, Mom had Andy Williams.
Want to play this little piano?
She had, yeah, I'd love to. You know,
It's small.
Jim Neighbors, Jack Jones, you know, all the old crooners. And,
Did you
know,
say Andy Williams?
You know, Sinatra. Andy was my favorite. So it might be a little cheesy, but we thought it'd be fun to do something like that. We also had some wonderful backup singers.
Yeah, we did. And they really got the idea of what we were shooting for. We had some gals that sang all the echo parts on the verse and on the fa la 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 la's. We just had a whole group of friends that came over and sang with us. It was great fun making it, and we hope you're going to have great fun listening to Christmas is Everywhere.
Everybody's singing it's Christmas. Everyone's with a merry tune is Christmas. Music for the season playing in all the stores. Jingle bells and silent night and a whole lot more. Melodies familiar, songs that we all know. The swinging records from yesteryear set our hearts aglow. Christmas is everywhere. Just look around. Christmas, it is everywhere.
Hey, look at this ornament. It's a sparkling frog. It's really a frog. I'll bet there aren't a lot of you that have this hanging on your tree.
The next song is Thank God It's New Year's Eve. One of my favorite tracks on the album.
And we don't remember what track it is. But when you buy the album, you'll be able to figure it out.
Jack came to me and he said, you know, we're doing this Christmas album, but we have to have a New Year's Eve song on it. And he'd written down some phrases like the ball is dropping and yeah, I got the party hats and the whole bit. And the song just came pouring out. And it has a real jazz feel, kind of like a Horace Silver song for my father kind of thing. And just one of my favorite tracks on it. And it was kind of about, you know, the economy and people.
Did you say Horace Silver?
Yeah, I said Horace Silver.
That's not Long John Silver.
Horace. You know, it's...
Oh, goodness gracious.
You know, there's so many people out there that are in bad shape that are just dying to get the year over with. And that's kind of what the song is all about.
Actually, I work often as a DJ and MC. Have done an awful lot of wedding receptions over the past 15 years. And occasionally I'm called upon on New Year's Eve. And I mentioned to Dale, there really just aren't very many New Year's Eve songs. You can only play What Are You Doing New Year's Eve, no matter how many times. It's been covered an awful lot of times. But actually there are not many New Year's Eve songs, and we thought we'd write one and include it on the album. Dale came up with a jazz musical setting. He didn't give himself enough credit because he said the piano playing was substandard. It's not true. When you hear it, it's jazzy as can be. We glued all those lines about New Year's Eve together, and then Dale surrounded it with a wonderful lyric that probably most everybody can relate to. So about all, we only have one thing left to do. Clink the bottles and say, listen to this one. It's called
Thank God It's New Year's Eve.
You're Gonna Like It.
It's dropping. Just wait and see how glorious this new year will be. Oh, spirits run high, I feel it all time low. Thank
number 7 on the album is called Midwestern Christmas. And much like the other songs, I jotted down some lyrics and was excited to play them for Dale. And I kind of envisioned this song as being a waltz. And it's about small town Americana. It's about Christmas in the Midwest. But the problem was when we started writing on it, Dale was like, I could get a fix on the song if you could just play it a little better. And so at some point he finally just was exasperated, which didn't happen too often. And he said, here's a couple different ways that I hear the song. Well, my lovely waltz called Midwestern Christmas, it's just hard when you're writing with a rock and roll guy. Sooner or later, one of the songs is going to be rock and roll. This was the one.
Well, I really couldn't come up with anything that he had written to make it sound right, and I just kind of went into this heavy Muddy Waters blues thing, and all of a sudden my wife, who was upstairs, yelled down, "I like that!" And it was kind of like, I was doing it as Elvis would in the '68 comeback special. It's like, my name is Trouble, and that kind of thing. And
oh my Lord!
And all of it just stuck. I just like, yeah, I think we do it in a blues kind of way.
And Dale was like, "So what do you think?" And I was like, "Well, that's not exactly what I had in mind." But then we began working on the songs, and the song, and a couple weeks later, then we developed some more lyric. And I believe when you listen to the song Midwestern Christmas, you're going to have a great time and you're going to have fun right along with us, and it probably will connect to a lot of Christmases that you've spent over the years. One other thing that Dale suggested, we ended up including it, was a party track.
Like the old Johnny Rivers albums, Live at the Whiskey A Go-Go, and you had just a room full of people just hooting and hollering, and so we tried to do that, and we, Jack's wife and my wife, and we all sat around and clanging bottles and yelling and hooting and hollering, and it was a ball to do. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It
was a good time filming the party track, singing the party track, making the party track. And what probably was more fun was the further we got into the song, originally I was singing it, then Dale was singing it. And most of the songs we could kind of establish who should sing each song that it suited them better. But this one we were just stuck. So we thought, wait a minute. What if we both sing it?
Let's do a duet.
So we did the rough cut straight ahead, and I sang the first verse, Dale sang the second verse, and we listened to it a little bit, and we said, man, wouldn't it be a fun contrast if we alternate on the verses? So that's what we did. We had a lot of fun on this song, and I don't know, call me crazy, but I think you're going to have fun listening to this one. It's called
Midwestern Christmas.
Walk through the door to a hearty handshake. Kisses and hugs all around the place. Same cast of characters from year to year. The ones we've lost still holding near. Midwestern Christmas, always the same. Midwestern Christmas. The menu for the meal never changes at all. Brothers with dip, Sophie's cheese ball, ham and turkey and granny's tater pie, swimming in gravy. We're all gonna die from a Midwestern Christmas. Always the same. Well, Midwestern Christmas. Together on this day. Play it, Dale. I love Dale.
I had to go get my Santa hat. I had to get my Santa hat. What is the next track we're going to talk about?
Letter to Alan.
Letter to Alan. I can give you the background on this, even though it's a very personal song for Dale. After the first few weeks, we spent most of the time during the initial period playing, writing lyric and that sort of thing. But Dale primarily over the years has written rock and roll music. I've frequently and primarily written country music. And so Christmas music was something sort of new to us, but it's something familiar to all of you. It's also familiar to us. So we suddenly started making time each weekend just to discuss our perspectives, what we thought about Christmas. And during one of those sessions, probably only about 2 or 3 weeks in, Dale told me this remarkable story from his childhood that he shared with his brother Alan.
Well, I think like everybody, I mean, it's a family-oriented album. I remember being a little kid, you know, maybe not that little, but maybe that little. You know, and my brother and I always shared a room.
It was a long time ago.
To this day, I could swear I remember us seeing the sleigh tracks on the roof, and we crept down the steps and got a glimpse of Santa Claus. I think it might have been the belt down or something. I don't think I saw his face, but to this day, I really honestly believe that we saw Santa. And
not many people get that chance to really see Santa. But he was there for the Walton Brothers.
But, you know, it was also, the song is a very personal song. It's about my brother, but it could be about anybody's brother. We're very close. He lives in Pittsburgh, and I miss him a ton. But every time we're together, it's like we've never been apart. And it was a song about family. I mean,
it was a wonderful song when Dale told me the story originally. But I couldn't get him off dead center to start writing it. So I wrote, and you'll recall, I wrote a very commercial song about the night the Walton Brothers met Santa Claus. And I was like, what do you think? And Dale was like, can I get back to you on that? And the very next day, he called me and said, I want you to swing by, and I've got something for you to listen to. And we kind of worked on the lyric a little bit, and we got a concluding line that is really a heartfelt line. It's how, and I know from being Dale's friend for almost 40 years that that's how he and Alan feel about each other. It's a real personal song, but you're going to like it.
It's Letter to Alan.
Alan, one last thing. Do you remember when we were kids? How we saw the tracks up on the roof, got scared and we both hid. Then we snuck down the stairway, and right before our eyes, we caught a glimpse of Santa standing by the fire. And brother, do you still believe? Brother, do you still believe? I know I do, 'cause I was with you, and I will always be with you.
The next track on the album that we're going to talk about is Simple Christmas Song. Simple Christmas Song. However, when we got to work on this one, we found out that it wasn't so simple.
It was a song that I brought to the project, and originally it was going to be this story of a little girl that had longed for a Barbie doll all year long, and after she received it on Christmas Day, she took it to the folks at the Salvation Army and put it in their cauldron. And as we did on every song that we wrote, I played it for Dale 3 times, and by the 3rd time he was absolutely in tears. And he was like, Jack, this is just too sad of a song for Christmas. So we set it aside, and we were going to work on it, and a couple weeks later, Dale said, I got to tell you, that song is in my mind. I didn't care for the part about the sadness of the Barbie doll and all, but it's the best chorus that we have on the album. So we've got to think about revisiting that song. Well, you can write a message song, you can write a novelty song, or you can write
Story song.
a story song. And we have all of those sort of songs on the album. Well, this song started off being a story song and subsequently became a message song, just a lesson song about how Christmas really is just a magically simple time of the year. Dale had pondered the song and been listening to that refrain for a week, and he called me one night, and I can tell you this, in February it was very cold, and he happened to be in his hot tub, and he called me at about 9:30 at night, and he said, "I'm dripping wet, but I think I've got an idea on a simple song. It's just simple." And I just jotted down the lyrics. "You want to come down to my house?" It's like 9:30. He had just got out of the hot tub, but it popped into his head. He developed a lyric, and it's actually one of the most powerful songs on the album. You're gonna like it.
The video is also very good. Also shot by my son Evan, and with a lot of friends and family in it. And I think you should check it out.
You can see all the videos and all the information, biographies, photos, jackanddale.com. Take a look. But right now, listen to the words. And the words are simple.
Simple Christmas song.
It's a simple Christmas song.
Simple song with a simple verse, goodwill towards men and peace on earth, family and friends from near and far, we sing and rejoice, God's only Son, we sing Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas and peace on earth, we sing Merry Christmas, we're singing for the baby's birth, we sing Merry Christmas, oh Merry Christmas and peace on earth, we sing Merry Christmas, we're singing for the baby's birth. We're singing for the baby's birth, singing for the baby's birth.
The last song on the album happens to be the first song that we finished. It's called "We Stood on the Hillside." It's a gospel song. Played it as we always did, 3 times for Dale, and I'm not nearly as an accomplished pianist as he is. And so Dale said, "Let me take a whirl at that song." And it suddenly developed kind of almost a calypso Latin beat, which really was exciting, and it really helped the song along. This is a gospel song. We sing about glory to God and the nativity, and we visit with the folks that were there that very first night, the angels, the shepherds, and the kings. Well, it became a production number for us the more we worked on it. So again, we enlisted our choir, one of Dale's bandmates, Bart, and my sister Jill, a couple of friends of ours, Marianne and Rosemary, and Mike Ivory. And we all got together on a hot July night to sing about the wonder of Christmas.
Now, I do want to point out on the choir, now we had 8 tracks to work with, which isn't much in today's recording standards. But we had this choir of 6 to 7 people, and we wanted to make it big, so we recorded these 6 to 7 people on 3 different tracks. So we actually had 21 people. So it actually came out like a choir.
We just gave away our secret, because when you listen to "We Stood on the Hillside," glory to God in the highest, you're going to think we have a church full of singers, and it's an exciting song. And that's the song that ends the album.
Glory to God, glory to God, glory
sure I've had fun visiting with you tonight. But before we go, there's just one thing I'm curious about. Does this look like a reindeer? Listen, there's 5 other songs on the album. You're going to like all of them. You can check them out, hear song samples, read our biographies, take a look at photos, and have links to the videos at jackanddale.com.
We had a great time doing this, and we want to thank the people at KITTV for letting us have all this fun. And we wish you all the best of Christmases.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Could be the best day of our lives.